All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So I dropped this video earlier, the global and JP equal treatment rant. It's more of me just going over the bigger picture. So people got lost in the sauce on this comment I made about power level, right? But it's the point I was making is there's a lot of differences between versions. Again, global W's, global L's, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is the actual major point I made, right? But people just instantly saw this and they just weren't having it. I looked at some of the comments on here. Again, people are very not happy, but there's some good stuff in here. And even if I make a video that a lot of people don't like, I think it's good to kind of get this up on screen, like have people's like kind of like opinions and stuff like that shown. Like I definitely don't mind that, even if it's like, oh my god, he's the Truth DT is the biggest idiot in the world, which there's a lot of comments like that in here, but we'll look at it. So we could look at top comments, and then we could probably have one for new as well, because there was a couple. It's like the first one. Yeah, people hated this line right here. But it's something because everyone goes, that doesn't affect me. I mean, yeah, no, I got that. But guess what? It does affect me. Like, it's a difference between global and JP that does negatively affect me, right? It's like the same thing we're talking about with Battlefield without currency, negatively affecting people. But we could look at both. Let's, we could kind of structure this a little bit like a hot takes video. We could kind of, start by looking at the top comments. We'll look at some new ones. There's a couple of new ones in here that specifically we have got to touch on. Again, some of these comments I want to kind of let people like slide. Like I don't want to crush down talk back against me, but some of them, I mean, there's legitimate 300 stone comments in here, like talking about the JP 300 stones, like dead ass serious, man. So let's see. Yeah, okay. So dude, this is so funny. Proton, like an hour ago, dude, I want to show this. I guess I could probably take like a screenshot and put this in. But Proton was literally just talking about some of the like in Japanese, commas don't really mean anything. Like it's more of like a Western concept. Proton was saying. He was just reading an article about it, and that's why commas might be gone. That's so crazy to think about. OST tier lists are tough. I mean, I'm not like the hugest, like, I don't know, like kind of like music guy or whatever we want to say, right? Like, I can't really speak on this so much. I'm not, like, I don't, like, bro, like, I'm gonna make a tier list, and I feel like I just want to put, like, the LR, AGL, Super Saiyan, Goku, and Vegeta from the 2022 Worldwide Download Celebration up there. Int, Spirit Bomb Goku, that, I think his active OST is great. STR Vegito, Int Goku and Piccolo, Physical Future Gohan, like a lot of the same like OSTs. I mean, I could maybe do like a tier list where I'm just ranking like 2023 and 2024 OSTs or something like that, maybe. Okay, see, there's a lot of comments like this, right? So like where they're like, oh, I usually agree with Truth most of the time, but this time I don't. So like that's why I feel like it's very fair and I should get these up, right? Because it's not like, I don't know, like the French love like showing up, quoting me and saying, "Oh my God, he's so stupid." But like that's not what these comments are. So okay, so I usually agree with Troop most of the time. Understand the battlefield currency issue, but the argument about max power level in GP, I feel doesn't really matter. Affects like 0.001% of the player base. Sure. The only thing I would say to this though is, again, this is a 46 long minute video, and I do again, okay. A lot of these comments we're going to see, it just completely washes over people. People see this line and they just like shut down. It's like, nope, I'm not listening to what you're saying. That's dumb, right? But it's leading into this point. Like, again, I did not like make the top tweet and then people push back on it. So like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh no, like this, like I'm literally typing both these at the same time. Like that was 254, this is at 256. Like this is simultaneous. Like I'm writing them out together, right? And this is the major point, which I've been saying forever. The games should be exactly the same. Like not even, they should be exactly the same. That is the point. But unfortunately, there is a problem. It's them. They do not do that. But again, I feel like the power level talk maybe I should rewatch the video, but I don't feel like it goes on as long as a lot of these comments are implying it does. I don't think using currency packs isn't a great example because in order to get more than JP, you have to pay for it. I mean, I could get this too, but like, I don't know. Like, it does affect players. That is something that does affect me. Like, I'm gonna have like thoughts on it, right? Like, I don't know what's something. Okay, let's go back over here again. I'm gonna leave this one up. Let's open up a second one right here. So I did a lot of videos, right? So here's something that did not affect me. Was like the version I play. It's Trunks, right? So in like this video, I go on and on and on about how ridiculously stupid to global it is that this Trunks is dropping with JP, how unfair it is, how there's no reason he shouldn't have come out with the sync and stuff like that. Like, I go over that at length, how dumb that is, right? Even though that's not an issue that affects me. So, like, understand that. Okay, man, to be released, bro, dude, I don't know. I get why people get upset about that. I don't think that one is as big of a deal. I don't. The to be released stuff, because it led to global getting really upgraded good banners in STR Janemba and Int Gogeta. Now that kind of got washed over with a wave of negativity as well, because at the time, the Gogeta and Janemba banners were so hyped. This was Thanksgiving for global. They were so hyped that it crashed the servers, and global was in maintenance like all day, and then it turned into the FU celebration, right? It was kind of like the whole thing with the Gogeta and Janemba celebration. But that's also when Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron got their leader skills. This was just a weird spot. Like, I don't know what they could have done. Like, they could have, I guess, just given them the leader skills and had them just be so far and away. But the point is they dropped Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Physical Omega, and they still had to go through a ton of 120% leaders. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku, a lot of them still had not come out when Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega were out, right? So, like, I do kind of get that. Whereas on JP, all of the 120% leads had already been released. This is an issue singularly made from the fact that the games were not synced. That's why the sync right now has massive like negativity around it. They've handled it horribly. There's like no good decisions they've made regarding the sync. It's been like a huge negative issue at the moment. But it's eventually going to lead to a good thing, right? Like, once the sync actually happens, and like I do think a lot of like, so like this issue that majorly sprouted up today, which was that global is going to be behind a lot of currency by their decision to skip battlefields to catch up to JP's battlefield, right? They did a similar thing with world tournaments, but it's kind of mysterious. This is more so like way back in the day. They skipped reward cards and then just kind of added them into the pool later on. I don't have an answer for why they did that. I mean, I guess remember that global is 6 months younger, but I don't know. But I don't think to be released was that bad, because it did lead to good banners, and I mean I understand their viewpoint of like, if we drop Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega, is that going to take away from all these other banners? They had a ton of 120% leads coming out afterwards. Like, I don't know. That one's a little bit stickier. There's like huge global shaft stuff we could talk about that I'm sure is going to be in this video. But yeah. Why is he converting 10k battlefield currency you have to buy with the free 200k currency? This is going to be referring to the Pilaf Trove pack stuff. But again, I would argue that I did not ever see, global players upset that they're getting extra resources at points, right? Like, sure, they're paid, but it's still something that does exist, right? Or, we talk about another thing that a lot of comments in here get to. Like, there's good comments that we want to see, even comments that are heavily disagreeing with me can be good. But then there's comments like, no way. Like, I'm pushing back on that. And like this notion that global is just so horrible and it's treated so bad. And oh my God, global, no. Like global gets a lot of good shit too. Unfortunately, I don't have the proof of this because I did delete the videos and I, yeah, I did. Well, hold on. Let me double check. I'm referring to, I had started to make a beginner guide. This was before the sync was announced. It was like last May. I was playing Strangers of Paradise, the Final Fantasy Origin game. And I was telling people nonstop, play global. Play global, play global's a little behind, but play global because all of the extra tickets and summons that you get on global far outweighs any global shaft, which is true. Global gets I would love to know like the equivalent of how much it could be, but a lot of it would depend on how many stones you've used on the specific banners that have global exclusive discounts and tickets. But I would imagine just like a normal free-to-play player, right? So imagine there's a free-to-play player that started on the 2nd anniversary of global and a free-to-play player that started on the 2nd anniversary of GP. I imagine the free-to-play global player would have as much as 3,000 extra stones worth of currency just from global discounts on big banners and the global tickets. And I'm not talking about PLF Trove tickets you buy. I'm talking specifically about tickets where you summon on a banner, right? And it was the good banners, the best banners in Dokkan history at the time. And you would get free tickets and then be able to put that back into a ticket banner, right? I saw some people saying, well, I've never pulled an LR off of that. But it's still, again, going to equate to thousands of extra, like, stones. Like, every year, I mentioned it recently in some video, but every year I do a video where I show the tickets, the free tickets that you get at the anniversary. And every year Global gets like 100+ more tickets. Like, I understand there are a lot of legitimate global shafts, and I'm not gonna speed through this video. Like, there's comments where people are talking about, like, when global was broken for a week was an unacceptable, undefendable, what the fuck are they thinking and doing global shaft, 100%. But there's other ones that are not so cut and dry, just a global shaft. Like when they accidentally made a mistake and they put, it was Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku on the New Year's banner, like over UI Goku, like accidentally, right? But the reason you cannot consider that a shaft, in my opinion, is they refunded the stones. They refunded players who summoned. So that becomes a global W. Like that's a good, like it's kind of the thing where it's like, on JP, if you summoned for Kefla, right, like on that legendary 300 stone thing, you got your stones refunded on the Kefla banner, but then there was also the 300 stones. There was another stone refund at the time, STR Rose's banner, which I remember I got the stones, I put it in the title of my video, and then people like downvoted the hell out of the video because I said I was clickbaiting, even though it was like 750 free stones, something like that, in my title. But then within 5 seconds of the video opening up, I get 750 stones out of my gift box, right? Because I got the refund because STR Rose had Super Saiyan 3 Broly's TUR art on the banner instead of his SSR, and they gave refunds for that. And then there's, there's the one situation where the blue Goku art was over like the I think it was a Sin Shenron. I can't remember what banner it was on global actually, but there was a big thing where it's like players are like, well, on global we should have gotten refunded for that. But I never saw proof that that's something that like everyone saw. Like I don't know. I know that was a weird one back in the day. I kind of went off on a tangent and lost what I was talking about though. Again, at the end of the day, the major point is this. This is my major point. And too many people got caught up in this. Like, you want to say this is stupid? Sure, fine. Knock yourself out. But this is the major point I'm making. This. Again, it's meant to be one tweet, but I suspect that when a tweet is like a tweet where you have to, click see more to show more, people just don't even bother reading it. So I made it back-to-back tweets, which I think might have been a mistake. Because, well, I don't know. People just saw this and checked out mentally anyway, and not even continued to the rest of this, right? All right, let's jump for some new ones. Okay, so the tweet is Rena Shore. Some of the resources we get on JP are paid packs on global. Orbs, potential orbs. Yeah. So for a while, orb events on global, were not as good as JP. It was. I did a video on this. I almost want to pull it out. Oh, I was scrolling down to get to. I think we're actually right around here. It was Yeah, here, perfect. I just made this point recently. But we pull this up. I promise you, if you're a global player, don't spend any of these tickets. And before someone says, oh, these tickets don't matter. Yeah, they do. Because a lot of characters are EZing these days, and they're becoming very good. LR EZAs, banner unit EZAs are becoming very good. So every single anniversary, Global getting 100 more here, like, that does matter. That's direct free summons, right? So again, there's legitimate global shafts we could talk about that are fair, right? You know, global is losing out on, I mean, I saw people in the comments saying it's as much as 900k battlefield currency potentially. That is a crazy number for sure, right? So you want to count that as a shaft? Sure, like, for sure. But like, there's a ton of positives on global too, and too many comments in here are just like, poor global players, it's so sad, you know, we're victims, it's the worst ever, when there is also a lot of positive things that global get. And I don't think it's fair to just wash those away. Damn it, I'm doing too many things at once. There's another thing I was going to look up. Oh, the global potential orb thing. Let me pull up my video and see if I can find that. What do we have here? Should we just watch this together? I mean, I do tend to yap away here. Let's pull this up. For another Dokkan battle video. So I wanted to quickly do a video. Okay. So we know that there's an orb event here on JP, and there's also an orb event on global, right? Now, there are differences between the two orb events, which is what we're going to go ahead and display right now in this video. Honestly, I don't really think occasionally JP is going to end up with more orbs, but I think this is a real issue during these celebrations. Right now, it is, I think it's Saturday. Wait, let me go. Okay. I remember now what this was exactly. Okay. So during the major celebrations, this was during Worldwide Download Celebration, at the end of the event now, so like if I jump into the JP one, and at the very end, here, let's just skip through the first fight. This is before these were revamped in 2021. Yep, that was the global shaft right there. At the end of the events, this stop sign fight was here. So again, this is from pre-2021. It's been a while now. These are what the old potential orb events look like, right? This is a stop sign fight that would give huge amounts of orbs. And back then, these potential orb events were way shittier. You were getting way less at the time. This would give you orbs. Now, like, that always happens. Back then, this was pretty rare to get. So you get that. But for these events, this is back when I was link leveling those characters for the first time. Yeah, nostalgic right there. But, and I think we show it. Do I just go right into it in global? I do. I go right into it on global right here. And then if we take a look when we actually, yeah. So we go into the global version. Here, let's play. Okay, very, very easy to do. Okay, and we'll just do, yep, last deck, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so there's the difference right there. Notice global does not have those. That ridiculous, massive, yeah. So that was the huge difference at the time. Because of the fact that the global and JP events were structured differently. Now, I think for a lot of the time, global, I think those original events were a little bit better because on JP, these enemies would only give one type of orb, right? Like there was the small, there was the medium, and then there was the large. I remember the value from getting medium every single time was always the best. Now on JP, I believe these fights you'd only get one type of orb, but on global, you would get multiple from any of the three, right? Like two different types. Let me see the rewards here. Yeah, so you get medium and large. Let's head back over to when I did it on JP. And then we go through the Deborah fight, yep. And then Deborah just gives medium. Yeah, see, this is why, like, when we start getting into these discussions, shit gets very nuanced, right? Like, it's like and this is why it's always been stupid that the games are not just the same fucking game. This is why. Because this shit starts to get so complicated, right? Like, global players are upset about missing battlefield currency. But like I can factually point to several times where Global got extra battlefield currency that JP didn't got, right? Like there was a time I do think that again, during these major celebrations, JP was running laps around Global with these special orb events where the stop sign fight was guaranteed at the end. I would imagine like the entire worldwide download celebration, JP probably got enough orbs to rainbow 2 extra characters over Global of like 1 typing or something like that. Like it probably was a big deal. But I think like day to day, the orb events were better on Global for a while, right? And it's like, you know, we do remember this as a Global shaft, and I do agree that, again, those stop sign fights were massive. But I mean, there's, again, more to it, and that's that these fights would even give multiple types of orbs. Although, I did suspect that maybe there was shenanigans with the Global orbs, truthfully, because they were hoping that Global players would buy the packs, the Pilaf Trove packs. Global Shaft demise, and then we got refunds for SCR UI Goku Step Up banner. I mean, there have been, you know, again, Global Shafts besides that, but yeah, this is not a Global Shaft. This is a monster, fat, massive W. Yeah, again, I mean, we can almost just skip over when people are talking about the power level stuff. Like, yeah, we got it. Yes, I yap a lot. Bitching about the comma. Okay, come on. Let's relax. Yes, we're bitching about the commas. It looks terrible, man. It looks terrible. I think that this guy is right. I think he's right. I think I did buy int orbs with some of those battlefield currencies. I want to say this was when int sort of hope Trunks got his EZA, I think. Or maybe it was Blue Vegeta or something like that. This guy's right. I think I did do a little bit of that, like, way... It wasn't 2017, though, because Battlefield started in May of 2018, was when Battlefield 2.0 started. So, I think this guy is right, but it wasn't 2017. When you read some hate comments, some are legitimate, like, criticism from people who... Yeah, for sure. I get that. Okay, I do kind of want to just skip over the power level shit a little bit. Like, yeah, we got it. Like, we could say I made a dumb comment. Sure. I'll give you all that. But, like, it's like there's... like, here, okay. Backspace not that useful 99% of players. Comments are really worth nothing. Okay, but, I mean, it is still a negative that does affect me. Like, I could talk about it, right? Like, the same way gold players are talking about the currency and stuff like that, or other issues. Like, sure. Keep bringing it up as a got-em point when both literally do not matter, not exactly big positives. Exact same with the second anniversary medals. 99% of players weren't playing, didn't sum enough on it to make up for the missing currency. Okay, but it is still a thing. Like, it's just like, okay, well, we can't count that because it was paid at all. Well, no. We can't count that because it was so long ago. Like, no. Like, we're looking at everything. Like, we're talking about all of this stuff. Now I'm going to talk about how, like, 80% of the global Ws are just paid shit. Again, I can't agree because the global exclusive tickets are not a paid thing. And that's the biggest W Global has. We're talking about tickets on the LR Super Saiyan 4s. We're talking about tickets on the 5th anniversary Blue Fusions. You know, tickets on UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. The biggest Dokkan Fest LR banners in history. Like, that's not... paid shit, and that is the biggest global W, right? Like, we could go look at the other end of the coin and say that the worst shaft in Dokkan history on either version, and this is lapping the field by 50 times, is that they lowered the rates for STR Gogeta, right? Like, we could say, like, that was so unfair, that makes up for some of it or something like that. Sure, I'm with you. I've always said we can't even possibly approach another shaft as big as that. Like, there's nothing they could, like, outside of lowering the rates by a huge amount. Again, like, I don't, the exact numbers, I think they lowered the rates. It was a huge number. Like, I think the SSR rate went from, like, 7% to, like, 5%. Like, we'd have to look up, like, a Living Ichigo video or a Rhyme Style video. Should I give it a try? Let me give it a try. But, like, that is the worst shaft ever. So, like, if you want to say, like, yeah, we've got the tickets and stuff like that, but there is also this horrible, which I think is not, like, an overrated shaft, and it is very valid that lowering the rates for SCR Gogeta is just so unbelievably unfair. It's ridiculous. Let me see if I can't look up a video by Living Ichigo or Rhyme at the time. Maybe D Free covered it, from back then. All right, guys. I looked around, dude. I literally this is what I typed in. This video I put out as the first result I get. Then we have this video from Live and Ichigo from 7 years ago. So I was looking through this. This is a little bit after the first anniversary, so it's not really what I was looking for. And then, like, if we start scrolling down here, like, it's not actually. Oh, there's my goat, Animated Muscle, man. He was so good. Oh, damn. I'm telling you, the Dokkan community would be in a much better place if he was still around. My goat. But, like, it doesn't really, like, a lot of stuff didn't pull up, right? Like, here's the same banner Living Ichigo was pulling on. But I'm not seeing... I'm not really finding... Like, I would have to sit here and really dig deep for it. Like, here's Rhyme... I don't know. Like, we're not really getting a lot of stuff coming up here, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. But in this, Ichigo is talking about the lowered pull rates that we've got right there. But I mean, we all know that that's a thing that did happen, right? About how Global, again, unfairly had the rates kind of like lowered and stuff like that. Here, let's close some of these out. We can get rid of some of these tabs and stuff like that. All right, let's head back. Yeah, so we got that. We got that. Those tickets usually pull crap. I mean, no offense, but this is completely irrelevant. It still is the equivalent of thousands of essentially free stones that Global gets. And even though Biff Cunningham pulled a lot of nothing, there's a lot of players that pulled a lot of fire, a lot of big LRs and stuff like that. No, I mean, see, I don't agree with this either, which is just like, oh, the Battlefield characters are horrible, so the whining makes no point. I mean, number one, I do think some of those Battlefield characters are actually decent. And number two, I mean, it is a collection game, right? Discounts come because we get units JP got months ago and their power crap. This is not correct. Again, no offense to Biff Cunningham. I could approach some of these comments with a bit of humility. Like, we'll see. But, this is where, no, you're just factually wrong, Biff. Because they will drop banners on Global and JP at the exact same time, and Global will have discounts that JP doesn't have. Like, again, Biff, it's just not correct. You're wrong, flat out. No, I never said that. I can't believe it paid Global advantages of a handful of currency to nearly 1 million of missed Battlefield currency. All right, we're just specifically talking about the Battlefield currency. Okay, sure. One about paid packs at a box space. I mean, yeah, but I mean, it is a major thing that affects not just me, but a couple of other JP players too. It's like a real thing, sure. Yelling the free-to-play characters about paid advantages. Yeah, see, here, again, sure. But, like, once he starts throwing in the free-to-play characters thing, he's talking about free-to-play, you're yelling to free-to-play players is what he's saying. But, okay, free-to-play players are able to take full advantage of those other tickets. I mean, sure, that's a different argument than if we're talking about just specifically Battlefield currency. But once he really starts talking about free-to-play players, that's what makes me think, okay, but there's all these tickets. And, again, it comes back to the point that, I mean, I guess this is my fault because I led with this, right? But the point is there is a ton of differences between versions. Global W's and L's, JP W's and L's. That's, again, the point. And, I mean, people are very upset about it, but that is literally true. That there is JPLs, JPWs, Global L's, Global L's, JPWs, JPLs, Global W's, Global L's. There we go. I hated that banner. Never ended up getting Gohan until last month. Must be talking about the second anniversary banner. Long-time player right here. I've had my account since Gogeta. I'm going to assume he means STR Gogeta if he's somehow, this is the second anniversary Gohan banner. Big L, but great content. Shit will be better after the sync. Yes. I mean, frustrations are super high right now. I get it because the sync is being handled poorly. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, this is just like a little thing I told in the middle of the video. Yeah. We don't need to dwell on that. This was the comment I wanted to get to. Perfect. Nice. Okay. For a free-to-play player, PLF Trove, basically any benefits from a pay perspective is kind of useless compared to Battlefield currency, which is full free-to-play possible. It is. And I don't think it's a stretch that a full free-to-play player could take advantage and beat the entirety of Battlefield without having to spend money. I mean, like, the new Metal Cooler boss is very, very difficult, but he's not, I guess unfair is what I'll say, because Metal Cooler has ways you could counteract his toxicness. Battlefield Omega Shenron was just completely unfair with no counterplay. Metal Cooler's not that, right? There is counterplay. Although I've seen a lot of people just talking about how frustrating Battlefield is. Not even specifically Metal Cooler, but even a lot of the level 3 fights. And I mean, it makes sense because, like, I've died a couple of times on Garlic Jr. because Garlic Jr. seals guaranteed every turn and is healing. Those bosses healing does get very annoying, man. Some of my comments are made from, in your case, a whale type of player compared to a free-to-play player, where you yourself have stated before to viewers to not spend money on the game. Yes. Absolutely. I've been saying this for years and years and years. I say, if you want to spend money on it, you can, sure, knock yourself out, but I would advise people to not spend money on a gacha. Absolutely. And Dokkan is not... I mean, I don't want to take a shot at Legends, but Dokkan is not Legends, where if you're a free-to-play player and you don't pull Ultra Gohan, you cannot compete or some shit like that, right? It's a PvE game, right? And it's like, even in Dokkan, like, say you don't have a character, or, I don't know, you're a global player, you don't have the artificial life form characters to beat the Beast Gohan mission in Supreme Battle Spectacle, right? Which is, I mean, now a joke after the Majin Buu Saga Golden Week celebration, but like you will still be able to get those characters returning to be able to crush that mission, and it's like you still get the same rewards as a player who beat it like the same day it came out, right? All right, yeah, I saw this. I thought this was a really good comment. I disagreed with a bunch of it, but I thought it was a really good comment. I had to get this in here. Oh, I'm sorry, Martini Shack. Oh my god! And then, dude, I'm sorry. Is this person for real? Do I even need to bring... Dude, no way we're still in 2024 counting the 300 zones JP got for a JP exclusive issue as a global shaft. It is so stupid that 300 zones is being used as a global shaft in 2024. I saw this and I fell. This has taken me back to 2017, bruh. There's no chance. This has got to be like a master troll. There's no way, dude. Okay, let's read this one. This is a good one. And then maybe we'll get back up to some top comments. Yeah, here we go. The truth, you are completely wrong. Vipes is always on my ass every second. I let him go crazy in the comment section, though. I tend these days to not want to limit... opposing viewpoints to me. Like, I let him go. Like, whatever, man. Knock yourself out. Although, he did say something really goddamn stupid. I think that people replying to this tweet with, "You are a narcissist," bro, be for real. We're talking about fucking Dokkan, man. Narcissist. Calm yourself for a second. Let's read this and then we'll get to the comment I wanted to read. Because, I mean, I just see this. You are completely wrong. And it's like, all right, hold on. We got to... Okay. So he's talking about the 2nd anniversary Gohan banner. Again, before we... I'm not reading... Like, let's... So you would summon on Super Saiyan... Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta during the 2nd anniversary. And then you would be able to get... It was tickets, right? And then you'd be able to summon on the banner that had the Peppy Gals. And it would have LR Gohan. And there was medals that were a reward that you would get for summon, like a summon gift or something like that, right? Like coins nowadays or an Elder Kai or something like that. And getting a lot of those medals significantly cut down on the amount of battlefield currency you had to use to summon, or excuse me, to awaken some of these LR characters from Battlefield. So I saw a lot of people in the video, by the way. I do directly point out that it was medals that you were getting and not battlefield currency. And so many people were using that as like a got him, it was actually the medals. Yeah, I know. I know. I showed the banner and everything. Like, I put it up on screen in that video. Again, the video was very long. I mean, 46-minute rant of me, of course. Like, I'm screaming and yelling and going on and on and on. So I get that. Like, people are going to comment before watching the whole video. But most of the big negative comments in here that I saw were pertaining literally to second one of the video and just this comment, right? All right, you need to consider why Global even had that in the first place. It was because the original Battlefield never came to Global. Yeah, that's correct. The original, that is something I wish that they would have not ever, like, removed or not done, right? Because it was kind of like a tower defense minigame or something like that. When you look at how much currency Global got from the banner, we need to account that JP got at least about 10k to 21 currency, which then needs to be subtracted. So I assume this currency you're talking about right here, this is from Battlefield 1.0 he's referring to. Okay, again, I never got to play Battlefield 1.0. The only Battlefield I've ever done, I've done every single Battlefield since Battlefield 2.0 number 1. And I mean, the wiki said we're on like Battlefield 70 or something like that. I think Proton typically does tweet the number. We're on like Battlefield 70 or something. Globally, you'd get 1 to 9 tickets per 50 stone multi, and average 5 tickets per multi. Every multi on the Gohan banner gave 1 to 7 Battlefield medals. They seem to be weighted as much. Most of the time, you got 1. Let's be generous, say they aren't. That's an average of 4 per multi, okay? Every 100 stones equivalent to 4 Battlefield medals, which is equivalent to 12k currency. Entire anniversary gave 500 stones, about 60k currency. I think that this is a fair thing to say, too. Like, let's just account for free-to-play stones that free-to-play players got just during the anniversary. I think that's fair. And remember, this is back before there was, like, you know, Part 2 LR banners and shit like that. Okay, so, sure, I'm with him. About 60k currency. Let's say you had about 200 stones saved up pre-anniversary, which this is probably not something people had because LR STR Broly came out and everyone summoned for him. Global first LR. That was the first summonable LR in Global, right? Literally, that was one of the craziest moments in Dokkan history. I was there at the time, the exact time it happened. Just all of a sudden, I opened Twitter. Like, Dokkan is in maintenance. I was a Global only player at the time. And you open Twitter, and it's like, what? Wait. What? Like, it's just Broly banner. Like, he just came out of nowhere. There was literally no build-up whatsoever. Maintenance ended, and there was a brand new LR character we'd never seen before on Global First. It was insane. So because of that, I just, like, at the time, I mean, it would be so hard to pull those videos up, right? Would it? Like, I guess maybe not. Like, let's go LR, STR, Broly, summons. Let's see. No. What is this? This is on JP, I guess? That's not... Yeah, this is on JP, I think. This might be tough to find. Because it's just after years and years and years... Oh, look, I did a raid ad right there. Yeah, nice. After years of videos, it does get kind of... Like, people have complained about how hard it is to find some stuff on my channel. Because, I've done, you know, Broly's had how many characters now? I guess, let me pause and see if I can't bring this up. Rainbow unit number 50. Wow. Wow. Okay, sure. Yeah, guys, I tried. It's not coming up, man. That shit is not coming up, bruh. No way. I mean, we got some real goofy shit popping up. Old videos. Look at these. Damn, man. Dokkan has been around forever, huh? Oh. Oh, here we go. What is this? Alright, so we're back on this bullshit. I just want to give an update. I am currently 1,410 stones deep into this banner with no LR Broly. In addition, I am currently... 100, 200. I am 210 consecutive stones without an SSR. Yeah, these were dark times, kids. So my point I was gonna make here, I ended up going through all of the save stones I had. So a lot of times, I do get a lot of comments where it's like, oh my god, the truth only speaks from the perspective of a whale. He has long since lost his touch with free-to-play players, stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. No. Actually, no. I never forget the feeling of going for AJL Vegito, failing to get him, and then I re-rolled because I was right when I first started the game. And then I basically did not... I got AJL Vegito and basically did not summon until AJL Goku Black and Physical Vegito Blue. That was like 7 months later. I skipped every banner, and then I made out like a bandit. I got Buhan, Omega, Physical Goku Black, AJL Goku Black. It was like, I was so happy pulling all that because I had saved all these stones, and then I made out like a bandit on the Vegito Blue, and the AJL Rose banner. So like I've been in the trenches doing that. And then after that, at the time, I was going to save for the Super Saiyan 4s on anniversary. We all were. The Super Saiyan 4s, they introduced the new meta, the 120% leaders, right? Like we were all waiting on those boys with bated breath. We couldn't wait. And then they dropped this. They dropped this guy. So players were not holding on to a lot of stones when this dropped. This guy dropped, and anything you had, people were putting into him. Because he was also, like, so busted. So crazy. I never pulled him, too. I put a lot of stones. I mean, this is, you know, like 1,000. It wasn't all free to play. I did buy a couple, but, I mean, this is long before I started whaling like crazy. Well, May 19th, a year later, I had started rainbowing every single unit on their first banner. Okay. Let's go back to the comment. We kind of went off on a tangent. Damn, we're at 40 minutes already? I kind of don't want to go past an hour. Okay. Let's say you had 200 stones saved up. Again, you can even subtract this number. This is being too fair to it. People blew their wad on Broly. And this is back before you weren't getting hundreds of stones per month back then. No way. Like, it took a little bit longer to save up. 84k currency, subtract by 16 from JP, and you have the global had 68 more currency then. Guess what? Right now, global is missing 900k currency. So, this number right here, what is it? Vipes again, is mostly referring to, I mean, what is it? Going to be probably like 5, 6, 7 battlefields that global would have just skipped over the last several months to catch up to, the, whatchamacallit, right? To get the battlefields caught up on global and JP. 900k is over 13 times more than 68k global has. The argument of what about the global second anniversary lull makes literally 0 sense. 68k does not make up for 900k gigantic difference. Yet the truth keeps repeating it over and over. Okay, you win. You beat me. All right, you happy? God damn it. Sure, fine, you got me. Okay, all right, now let's go on to the other one. All right, you win, man. Fuck, dude, I'll give it to you. Okay. So we start out with this. The UI incident 2021 and the step up banner. I'm sorry. This is a global W. I can't call it anything but a global W because these were the step up banners. Nowadays, the step up banners aren't quite as good. I mean, I don't know. I guess that was more of a thing like when Red Zone first dropped and then it's like all those old characters just were instantly completely wiped away. Now, I mean, you could still do those step ups, get older good characters, you get like super powerful easy age or something like that. But, like, people were summoning on those New Year step-ups. And then anyone who did got their stones refunded. I mean, that is just, it was, I mean, I don't really want to use the term, it was an honest mistake by Global, but it was kind of was an honest mistake by Global. And then they gave refunds. Like, so for a lot of players, I mean, it was just massive W's. I guess maybe you could have said, it's a real bummer because back then I was one of the people that pulled the Super Saiyan 3 Goku when I really should have had UI Goku, but I didn't get him, right? Like, there are a couple of players who could say that, sure, but players got refunded for that, man. That's not a global shaft. It's not. If this is a global shaft, then the Kefla 300 stone thing is a JP shaft. Are people going to say that? No way. No way. Game being unplayable for weeks. Yes. I mean, this was when using items broke the game. Don't ask me how they did that. But yeah, that was a unacceptable, unforgivable, undefendable global shaft for sure. World tournaments being delayed because of bugs. Skipping battlefields. I mean, skipping battlefields is a good idea. The solution is they should just give a bunch of currency to global players. That's the solution. I don't think skipping battlefields is an issue. But, I mean, it leads to a lot of missing currency, so just gift some currency. Like, that's the solution, right? Because they're going to have to do... Like, we knew that there was going to be corners cut for the sync. Like, we knew about this. Like we've talked about it. Like, not just me, tons of people have talked about it. Like, that's going to happen when the sync happens, right? It's going to be messy at points. But the solution would have been just giving out some currency, right? To be released incident. Again, this one I kind of... I don't know, man. Like, I lean towards this is not... Like, people get really upset about that one, but it's... I don't... Like, I could see it from the devs' perspective for that one. That, like, if they just drop Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with the Fusion Leader skill, like, people aren't really going to be summoning for a lot of those characters, man. I don't know. Dokkan gatekeeping int LR sells EZA. Oh, yeah, that. No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll get. You get this one from me. That didn't make any fucking sense. That was he's referring to. I mean, this wasn't that long ago. January of 2023. When again we're having the same celebration, which was the superhero celebration, and Global just didn't drop in LR Cell's EZA, Gohan's EZA, and then those support memories. It was the collection of epic battles event. Those stages were fun because right, remember the Cell and the Gohan would stun you for 9 turns in there, right? And then they did, now with Supreme Battle Spectacle, they fully jumped into bosses like having big debuffs as like a part of the difficulty. Goku Black being weaker on Global, also not having a banner unit. Well, I mean, the Goku Black being weaker on Global, I mean, I don't know. We could say that either way because he is going to get, he's going to get the buff that JP got. I don't really understand. Like, it does seem shady, though, that it's like, oh, he's not working as intended, and, oh, magically he has this new line here, and now he just does a new ability. We could give this a Global. And then, of course, the banner unit. It's funny. I don't really care about this, though, for the banner unit. But that's the one that I think is, most egregious. I do think, that. There's that I think is indefensible. The Trunks? I don't understand. The good news, though, is that Global didn't get shafted on the Frieza banner. I mean, people still, if you're summoning for Goku Black, you could have got the Trunks back then. But what I mean is that Trunks was added to the Frieza banner, but they didn't make the Frieza banner 8 featured characters, thank God. That would have been such a shaft. Top grossing being garbage on Global most of the time. Yeah, we've had so many, videos, topics. We've discussed this at length. It's just, I don't know how much deep I want to get into the top grossing stuff. That's a whole circus, and, I do have inside info on a lot of the top grossing stuff. I just do, but I don't really want to talk about that. The top grossing stuff, I'm gonna just give it to you and then we're gonna move on past that. But yeah, the top grossing stuff is very messy. This is one of the things I actually am quite scared of when the sync happens. There's an easy solution. Check this out. Just give the same rewards to both versions. Make it be exactly the same, right? That's the novel solution. Hopefully they do that. All right, so Truth, my man, love you. Genuinely the only YouTuber with which I feel a connection. Funny guy, very humble, down to earth, always listening. Dude, he says this. So many people are like, no, he's a narcissist and the ego is exploding and stuff like that. It's funny. Always listening to vids, background while studying, cooking, gaming, having a walk, buying groceries. How many times I giggle. I always start slandering Subaru or 1717. You get share rotations. When you get one shot, when you slander someone on Twitter, usually agree with most of your takes. Used to be the biggest Dodge hater, though. Oh, that's unforgivable, buddy. Definitely have some advantages of Global 2. You ain't wrong about that ticket. We ain't wrong about that. Tickets, discounts, box space always go to. But you cannot say that Global is better or on par with JP. I'll have to disagree. I could be biased, so. This is a good comment. He's just. I feel like he was overly fair to me here. The thing, though, is, again, I wish I could pull up my beginner guide that I had made in May of 2023, but I do personally believe that the tickets and discounts outweigh all of the Global shenanigans. I do. In the beginner's guide, I was telling players, it was meant to be a beginner's guide for new players, and I was telling players, play Global Dokkan. I said, if you can't stomach being behind, at least play Global to familiarize yourself with the game first, then switch to JP, right? But I was telling players, Global gets so many more free summons compared to JP. I cannot, in good faith, recommend someone at this point to just be a JP player because Global gets so many more free summons. It's just a fact. It is. And at this point, if they were lowering the rates, of course, the free discounts and tickets do not outweigh rate lowering, but they don't do that shit anymore. That's pre-first anniversary garbage that they did. That they have not gone back to doing that shady shit. So it's I get a lot of the frustration with Global at times, but I do also feel at the same time that a lot of times Global players can just be very whiny. Period. I'm saying it, and I mean it. I feel like a lot of Global players tend to get very whiny there are legitimate things, right? He brought up, a bunch of good points, right? That in LR Cell EZA, Gohan EZA, I'm with you, right? Trunks, the game being broken because of items for like a full fucking week. What about one thing he didn't mention? I mean, he said I could keep going if you wish. What about the giant transformation bug? On JP lasted like a week. On global, it was like multiple months, wasn't it? Where you would go giant form and the game would crash and you would literally have to cancel and reset the event. You would go giant and it's essentially game over instantly the second you'd go giant. And again, on JP, it lasted like a week or something like that. But on global, it was like months. Like, there are legitimate global shafts, yes. But I just am never going to stop saying that the global tickets and discounts, like, far outweigh that shit, right? I mean, we could talk about box space, too, but that's not, like, it's the tickets and discounts, man. So we're at 50 minutes. It is very easy for me to yap away, man. Let's just kind of, like... Nah, I mean, I don't want to go, like, we all like the game, like, I'm not doing this, like, oh my god, people disagree with me, so, like, I'm saying they're taking it too, like, nah, I'm not going there. Maybe the replies are, well, I don't want to, if they're just gonna shit on this guy. If they're gonna shit on me, it's fine. The issues are valid, yeah, I agree. If there's a problem with the game, it's a problem that should be fixed. Yep. Yeah, boom. I'm agreeing with this guy, Dokkan Troller. I like this. At the end of the day, it literally... This is it. This is... Boom. They should have did this shit years ago, man. The sync. They're handling the sync so poorly, and it's leading to all these issues. I do wish... I'm always gonna say I like them announcing it when they did. I just can't see anyone getting me to change my mind on that. But like, since they've announced it, dude, they've just handled it so bad. It's been handled so bad. The sync has been handled so bad, dude. And it's just like, if they just would have did this 6 years ago, 7 years ago, right? Like, think of how much bullshit would not have happened if they just would have did this like a million effing years ago. I don't get it. All right, I mean, this is gonna turn into like we got a good thing right there. Like, I agree with that point for sure. Never got an LR off a ticket summon. Oh, what is that, Kingdom Hearts 3? I see that. Been around right when AGL... Oh my god. Dude, that means this guy predates me on the game. What the hell? Ordeal to get just... Okay. Yeah, okay, so regardless of any Battlefield currency talk or anything like that, I have seen a lot of people are frustrated with the difficulty. I mean, here's the thing. It is a fact that Global getting this early Battlefield before Global has the 9th anniversary units is tough, right? Because think of all, like, 9th anniversary characters are not just summonable characters. EZA, Broly Chiai Lemmo, EZA, STRUI Goku, EZA, Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, right? Like, those monsters, right? Like are not in global players' boxes for these huge, difficult fights. When Battlefield first gets new enemies, it always is very tough, right? Like, usually these days, even I'll take an L or two. Garlic Jr.'s killed me a couple of times. I saw some people talking about Evil Boo being difficult. I don't think I've really had issues with Evil Boo. For me, Garlic Jr.'s caught me several times, actually. And so has Metal Cooler, obviously. But I've seen a lot of people talking about the difficulty being tough. Bro, I saw... Dude, truth. Flout to Bamco HQ replacing Matsu's job. I'd rather a freak like you does it, dude. All right, yeah, you guys really love me, man. What the hell? Okay, let's see what he's saying. Bring back Chain Battle. Okay. The JP community's opinions. Yeah, so this is a reference. Japanese players who... here's a fair criticism or point you can make with this, like, global JP stuff. It does seem to be a thing where Dokkan, usually, it's like 99%, they're... I feel like only really listening to JP play. I mean, I don't want to just say that, but I mean, even to me, that's the way it feels, where they're mostly like the JP community really hated Chain Battle. And I mean, there's, Amatsu did say that there was other, internal discussions and talks and stuff like that, right? Like, with the team. But I mean, that's what this guy's referring to. That is that JP players really did not like Chain Battle. All kinds of people play the game, not just single region only. By the way, this is why the Global World Tournament is an extra day longer, by the way. Is because for JP, it's just supposed to just cover Japan, whereas Global is covering countries all over the world, right? That's the reason it's an extra day in Global. Bring back, replace, no, dude, bro, no. We're past 70 now. 70. Time to retire it? Original concept of a wave-based horde thing was great. I wish they'd bring it back. Event has gone far too exclusive with conditions and rewards. Regardless of the global shaft with currency, I think that there is a huge issue with currency. There's a huge problem with currency being given out. They need to up the amount. Like, you should be able to grind it up. Like, it should be a grindable resource. I don't know how, but you should be able to grind it up. New player won't be able to rainbow anything now. Yeah, I mean this is true. This is true. It's just like, because a new player, think about how long it would take before a new player could really even challenge it. You have to be like rank 150 to even unlock the mode. I think it's something like that. And like a new player wouldn't be able to challenge Battlefield and beat the whole thing for a year, like a year maybe. I don't know, like a long time. I'm on board with updating a lot of aspects of it for sure. Truth lost any credibility to talk about this shit when he opened his Global 10 Stone comp video, laughing and then having Goresh check him asking him what's so funny. I think this is the when Global was broken for a week. I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Brandon Cole. When Global was broken for a week, and I believe I laughed at just the sheer ridiculousness of it. But again, at no point ever have I not said that that's not just like an insane, nasty global shaft, right? When the game is broken for a week, I'm almost certain that's what he's referring to. The 10, I think, because he says Goresh checking me right here, but if I remember, sorry. If I remember, dude, I'm laughing thinking about it now. I'm sorry, Brandon. But, Goresh, I believe my thumb for that. Let's type in global shaft. Maybe that'll come up. My thumb, which was a recommendation from Goresh, was just a yeah, dude. we gotta play this. I didn't want to go over an hour, but oh, an updated history of the pesky global shaft. Oh shit. Oh man, that might be good reading as well. All right, we gotta take a look at this, dude. This is crazy. Yeah, the thumbnail was literally Goresh's idea. Like, Goresh said, do that. Let's go. All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Okay, so Global Dokkan, they did go ahead and perform the emergency maintenance. All the issues were fixed on Global Dokkan, which is good. So after a full week, I'm sorry. After a full week of the game being broken, they said, all right, guys, here's 10 stones. 10.
Why are you laughing? What's funny about that?
All right. No, I'm sorry. But again, I'm not, that is a slap in the face. Like 10 stones, bro. That is so, like, dude, like Goresh, I'm telling y'all, Goresh is holding back tears from laughing so hard right here. Let's play it. Let's play that again. Guys, here's 10 stones. 10.
Why are you laughing? What's funny about that?
All right, now here's why this is funny. I would argue this is a legitimate global shaft. Like this, like you go down in the annuals of global history, this is a legitimate global shaft. Because it's like at the start of the year, right? The step-up issue led to a lot of players like getting like refunded zones and stuff like that. Like as time goes on, I think players would think of that fondly, right? But this was a situation where I think global actually was treated rather unfairly, considering the game was broken for a week and they didn't really. All right, Brandon, maybe we're being a little bit disingenuous, buddy. Because, again, I am truly laughing at the ridiculousness of it, but it's a legitimate global shaft, and I was even saying that back then. Brandon, come on, bruh. Come on. The game was unplayable for a week, and they gave 10 stones. Like, we're not going to call that a mockery? Like, come on. Bruh. Brandon, please, bruh. Please. Oh, God, okay. Your worst video of all time, global players don't want to be treated better than JP. They want to be treated as good as JP is. Yeah, okay. So in here, I made a comment where it seems a lot of times like global players don't want to be treated equal to JP players. They want to be treated better. And I'm telling y'all, from what I've seen of a lot of people say, I do feel that way. Like, that's not something where it's like, Ashy muted called me out, I'm backing down. No. From a lot of the stuff I've said, I do feel like a lot of global players that I've seen are like that. I'm not saying all global players, I'm just, putting them all in one, basket or something like that. No. But I have seen a lot of global players definitely do want to be just flat treated better than JP, not equal. Yes, I will double down on that. I do think that. Global has a lot of its own benefits, but they've made so many awful decisions. Still really far behind JP in terms of treatment. I just will push. I'll start pushing. Like, I'm going to start pushing back on this a lot because it's like, dude, like the tickets and discounts. Like, people will argue against the tickets and discounts when, like, in the back of their mind, they know that it's thousands of stones of free to play. Like it's, bro, it does make up for the issues. Yes, it does. It does. The tickets and discounts. Now, I mean, if we could point out the Battlefield currency issue, which is, like a global shaft because of the sync approaching. And then if they remove the global exclusive discounts and tickets, and then you go, well, wait a minute. We got like a typical global shaft, but we don't have the W to make up for it, which is always the extra discounts and the more tickets that JP doesn't get. And then the global exclusive tickets, which are not P-Love Trove, are directly from summoning on the banners, right? Like if those don't happen, then sure. Saying we just want to be treated better so we can laugh about it is just stupid and wrong. We want to be treated better so that the games can actually sync. Well, okay, but again, one thing Ashy Muted needs to understand, and I mean, there's proof all over. I've been saying this in so many videos since 2016. Catch the games up and make them equal. I have never been off of that point ever. I have always been pushing it. I have always been pushing that. Always. We could probably end there. This is some of the most childish shit ever. I think this is the commas. The commas, bruh. Bro, we're not gonna dude, the commas is bullshit, man. That's a JP shaft, bruh. No commas. Oh, okay, the tectone parts. The stones, again, sure, there's some stones missed out, but a lot of the tickets and discounts can make up for a lot of that. Oh God, bro. I kind of, like, since I opened it, I do want to read through it, but bro, this is the epitome of, like, I'm happy that happened for you, or I'm sorry that happened. Recruit meet. Okay. A lot of times when I'm typing, I do this, where I'll kind of like do this, and then I'll, like put a little space. I personally feel like it's a little bit easier on the eyes to read it when there's kind of just like, bam, like you can kind of go through it quickly. Brother, when you just have a wall of text, bro, it gets very difficult. I mean, maybe this is just I'm a stupid idiot thing, but bro, look at this. Okay, let's go through this. I don't want to open his comment, be like shell-shocked, and then be like, all right, well, we're done with the video. Like, let's read it. There should be absolutely no difference between versions. Comes with free-to-play stuff, Battlefield currency. Okay, sure. Whole thing of being able to buy more box space literally only an issue for whales like Truth. No, that's actually not even correct. It's not specifically whales. It's people who want to push like their power level to the highest limits. The guy that I'm competing with on JP, Runo, is not a whale as far as I've seen. He's not a whale. He's just a grinder, man. Like that boy is just grinding. Like he's just like that. Like, but he's not like a whale. Like it's not even really a whale thing. The number one guy on global, it's Pumao, right? I probably don't know how to pronounce it. I never got the indication that Pumao is a whale. Like like this. See, this is where like I do start to look a little side eye because it's like, oh my god, the truth has buddy and he summons, and we're the poor peasant free to play players, and you're the big whale, and you're looking down on us like, bro, like it's not like. And not even specifically talking about other whales. Like the other people who are grinding power level like I am aren't really whales like that. Like Runo Dokkan doesn't even like. I follow him. Like I follow Pumao, these other guys who are competing like this, and like they're not rainbow in every single character like that. Like they're not whales. It's not, saying whales is not a correct thing. Because this is just a thing. This is a thing that a lot of times does happen where people want to just like prop me up and say, oh my god, the whale doesn't ever understand the plight of us free to play players, stuff like that. And it's like, dude, I was there again. Like I did. I mean, it is now a long time ago, sure. And I mean, now at this point, I've made a lot of money off of YouTube as well, sure. Like valid, right? But like I did like these things where I say summon, like save, and then summon. Like I did these things, and there's proof on the channel, man. Like I like to say it's impossible for me to understand the free to play mindset, and I don't get it, and I'm just completely delusional. Like it's just not true. Like I'm gonna tell you, it's just not true. Like again, like I could accept some of these criticisms or things people are saying in here, sure, but like some of it's just not true. Like just because you say it. Or just because you say it and a couple other people agree with it doesn't make it true. Battlefield currency is limited currency you can't buy. Well, I mean, to an extent, yes. I mean, global players actually have been able to buy a bit of currency, but sure. Literally no reason why global should miss out on some huge issue. Okay, sure. So, sure, I'll just say yes. But the issue, what they could have done, I don't think that it's a bad idea to skip battlefields. Just, like, as part of the sync, be like, hey, guess what? We skipped a bunch of battlefields. Global players weren't able to get a lot of currency. What Vipe said it was up to 900K. I'll have to double check if that's the actual number, but that is a monster number if true. Boom, they just dropped that in global players' boxes. Like, there's no reason they can't do it, right? Boom, just do it. And then that makes up for, again, what I would call one of the rough edges of the sync. Not only this, but Power Level past like 3 million doesn't do shit. Okay, but you don't know that this is never going to do shit ever. Like this is like at the same time, like, people are saying, like, it only affects you, so we don't care. But, like, I mean, it does affect me, so this is something I do care about. Like, you'll understand why I do care about it. And then things that didn't affect me, I was speaking out for global players. Like Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, which I made the point. I was speaking out heavily, right? And, I mean, they do have eyes on me. So, it's like, dude, like they see this stuff. Right? They see us talking out heavily against how stupid it was with Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So it's like, sure, like this is mostly just me and a few others, but it's something that does affect me. And I do speak out on the issues that affect gold players that don't affect me like I do. So yeah, nobody cares how high your power level is because again, some of these players, man, it is like the way this guy is wording this is beginning to agitate me because it's like, I'm not allowed to care about something because I'm a whale. I'm not allowed to care about something because it affects less people. Like, it's stupid. Like, yeah, it's something I care about. Like, okay, I care about it. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, yeah, I do, man. You said near the beginning of the video, global players love the fact they get a higher power level. Yeah, I do say that a lot. What the fuck are you talking about? I haven't seen a single global player give two fucks about that. I mean, I've seen a lot of those comments towards myself. Like, I have. I mean, maybe you're saying that, like, they're just messing around. They're just joshing or goofing off. Sure. We go with that. Sure. So sure, I'll give them that. There might be at most allowed 10 people on Twitter or Reddit who think, well, I'm to be fair, I'm not really looking at Reddit these days. Twitter, fair, YouTube comments, stream, stuff like that. Because they play global, get a higher power, that's like 0.0001% of the player base. Rest of the players don't give two farts. I can agree that the ticket global get can make up for a lot of lost stones, but not battlefield currency, a limited currency that's always low in supply unless you've been playing consistently since the release. Well, I mean, to back up what this guy is saying, I mean, it's a limited currency even for a player like me who's played every single one. And it's still limited, a very limited resource to me, and I don't have every single character done, and I have not missed a battlefield, right? So, again, that backs up what he's saying right there. I literally can't rainbow and easy all the Battlefield LRs because even though I've been consistent since like 2022 and doing all the Battlefields, yeah, I mean, okay, the timeout, we're going to keep going through. But, I mean, yeah, he's never, this is more of an issue, not a global shaft issue, but this is just an issue with Battlefield in general. Like, Toon Ram, we were looking at Toon Rami's Battlefield shit a little earlier in the again, in the preview, in the video we're looking at the comments for. We were looking at Toon Rami's shit, and he was missing so much stuff. And he had only missed, I mean, I don't know, Toon Rami, like, as far as I'm aware from what he has said, he started when LR Goku and Frieza came out, which would have been about 6 months after JP got Battlefield for the first time. No, less, because JP got it in May, so it would have been 4 months. 4 months. It was a 4 months difference. But, like, you know, if you started doing Battlefield since 2022, like, it's like you can never, ever, ever catch up. Like, what they need to do is they need to change this system anyway. Revamp the Battlefield currency, change it up a lot. Or make it grindable, something. Still short like 1 million currency. And then if what Vipes is saying, you know, you could basically add another 1 million on top of that if it's 900k that Global's missing out from, again, 6, 7 Battlefield, something like that. About the amount that Global's missing. Shit with Gohan's banner doesn't matter. He's talking about the LR Gohan second anniversary banner. Box space issue is really a non-issue for like 99% of the active player base. Okay, but it is an issue for me. So I'm not allowed to say it. And on top of that too, like people talking about the power level thing, but it even is very annoying. I mean, now we're talking about something that truly pretty much only does affect me. Because again, as far as I'm seeing, these other high power level players are not like mega whales like me, but like summoning is even more of the worst experience ever because I can only do a few summons before the game just outright holds me and I have to baba shit. Like the whole box space shit, like people can easily just say, oh, it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect me, but it does affect me, and it affects me every single day, like every summon I do. Like it is a big deal to me. I'm going to talk about it. Meanwhile, the issue of Battlefield currency affects probably at least 30% of the active player base. I mean, to be fair to Recruit Me, it's probably higher. I mean, global players might be 60% of the player base. I mean, this number is probably much higher than 30%. I would say so. I mean, I guess... I mean, okay, in order for it to like truly be a shaft and truly lose out on all the currency though, like you would have need to have been able to actually do that or you were going to do it. But still, I would say that the number is very likely above 30%. I mean, I know a lot of the things Recruit Me said in here, like I either disagree with or annoyed me, but I mean, sure, he made a lot of points too, sure, whatever. Okay, here's another one. Global gets extra perks because they're 3 to 6 months behind. Okay, but it's like the perks that they're getting are ridiculous, huge, gigantic. Like that's way above the level of just because they're behind. And ding, ding, ding. Guess what? The sync is happening. Finally, Global is not going to be behind. Yeah, Global Foresight has been stupid for a while now because they change up so much shit. Someone didn't like the second anniversary stuff. Sure. Oh, yeah, this is not a bad idea. Like, allow Dokkan Battlefield currency to be gotten with, like, green or blue incredible gems. That's pretty good. That's a good idea. I like that quite a bit. That could, like, reward players who do, like, link level as well. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people would complain, oh my god, I gotta do more grinding. But, like, it's... I like that. That could solve the issue, actually. I don't know what the exchange rate would be, but I do like this. Being able to buy Dokkan Battlefield currency with blue incredible gems is a good idea. Oh, yeah, see, this is funny. I agree with global players on this, though. I agree with that one 100%. That was just stupid to global and unfair and dumb. Like, I agree. At all points, I've agreed. Again, remember, the one thing is that global and JP, there's global Ws, global Ls, JP Ws, JP Ls. People have been getting very mad at that point, but it's true. Literally 40 minutes of coping. Okay, I made a lot of good points, though. I mean, you're not, like, I mean, brother, like, you're not going to sit there and go back and forth with me, brother. You're not going to win. I'm sorry. I mean, okay, I don't want to do this either. Here's the thing. It is a collection game. People are going to want to get these characters. They're going to want to rainbow these characters. Like, this is a thing people are going to want to do. So, like, I'm not going to fall into that of, oh, the characters suck anyway. Why are you complaining or something like that? Like, nah, I'm not on board with that. Got plenty of currency. I've fallen off doing the weekly reset currency missions for a while now. Yeah, every week you do 3 runs and you get 6,000? It's 6,000, right? What? Alright, I think we're done. What? Yeah, okay. I'm not allowed to complain about the power level issue by people. Okay, sure. I mean, I thought the LR Physical Ginyu when they came out were pretty damn good. I think Bobbity and DeBoer are pretty good. Oob is like, okay. The Metal Cooler Army were solid, right? Like, they were solid. They were solid. Only really useful thing you can get is Elder Kai's. You have a limit on that. 900k people are complaining about for what? Just to hoard it, hope for a good LR? Well, no, I mean, but people are saying they want to spend it, right? Like, they want to rainbow the characters, right? Like, I saw several global whales speaking out that, like, I can't get the copies of GT Cell and Frieza, plus I can't get the medals to rainbow Bobbity and DeBoer. Like, it's fair. Like, I get that, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, you could literally just say this, yeah. Rather than skip Battlefields, just make it like every 2 weeks instead, sure. Very dumb. They didn't just give us increased Battlefield currency. I guess they could have done that. Yeah, that's another solution that would have worked very easily. They could have just, like, doubled the rewards up. So, like, okay, for every 1 Battlefield JP was getting, Global was, you know, cutting 1 off, skipping 1, and then getting to the next one. The one that was removed, why not just add the rewards to the next Battlefield? I mean, yeah, there are solutions here that I think they could have just done or could still do. Like, just add the rewards from the cut Battlefield to the current Battlefield. Bam. I don't know if I'll be able to actually buy all the copies of GT Cell and Frieza before the next Battlefield LR. I mean, probably not. But the thing is I feel like they drop shit in there too often. Like, there's a new thing in there every 2 months. It's ridiculous. You never have an opportunity to get ahead of that shit. They're trash, but I like collecting the LRs. I think that's valid, man. Like, yeah, well, maybe it's a collection game and I just want to collect them. I think that this is fair. Like, I you know, people are saying, like, I just want to get the character in the character collecting game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, Global's gotten more currency, only affects like 1% of the players. This is affecting 100% of global players. Okay, sure. The reason why I assume they have tickets for the major hype celebrations because they always come out late by 6 to 8 months in global. Sort of an apology kind of thing. Yeah, but you could also read it as it also could function as an apology for some of the global shafts or global shenanigans as well, which again, in my opinion, I do think that those tickets and discounts make up for most of these global issues. Besides, again, rate lowering shit. No way, but people are scared once the sync happens, they're going to go away. I don't think they're going to go away, but we'll see. Because again, so many times Global and JP have had banners at the same time celebrations, and JP has not gotten discounts Global's gotten. This happened a lot. I do the same thing when JP gets treated better on smaller things, so laughing, saying JPW. Do I? Like, or is it like 100% tongue-in-cheek? Like, I'm going to need a clip of this and the context of the situation. A lot of times I am dripping in sarcasm, and a lot of times it's easier to come across with my voice. But a lot of times I'm like talking. I'm not saying anything here is sarcastic. Not the point. But a lot of times, like I'll tweet or talk to someone very sarcastically, and I think my tone completely goes over their head. Again, I'm not saying that for this, but like that is something that happens a lot. Like I'm always just dripped in sarcasm, right? It's just like Gresh. Gresh is the same way. That's why we get along so well. We're the same way. No, we're an hour 20 in. We could talk about private servers forever. Don't worry. We're 50 hot takes videos coming in the future. We could rant about those. Oh, let's see this. Horrible truth take. Every player should clearly see how Dokkan treats JP and Global differently. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Evo and Global may get a W, ends as an L because of bugs and other issues. Wait, Holt. Vinicius here. This feels like he's referring to global first characters. Because this, to me, I'm reading this as, this is something I've said forever. Every time global gets a global first, they fuck it up. There's always bugs, major issues, nightmare. There's always insanity. But, like, I don't, like, every global first, I mean, we're just counting that as a global W. I mean, global first characters typically always do end up in this. This is true. Comparing the problem of power level cap and JP that affects a very small marginal players of Battlefield currency and global affects most of those player base even worse to take. Okay, sure. But again, this video was going over a lot more than just the power level part. See, like, mostly people can just not get over that first line when, again, I mean, as I've brought up a million times, it's leading to this, which is part of this, right? That's the whole point. Right, I was using one example right there. Although I do feel very strongly about this. Like, yeah, that's something I don't like. That does bother me. I feel like we're pretty much just, yeah, he's just talking about the power level thing. Again, we've gone over it a million times over in the video already. I had to. People were so mad. Like, I do at the same time. Like, I don't, it's just the way I am, where I don't want to just, like, cancel people out. Like, where people will say, oh my God, like, I'm right, you're all wrong, canceling y'all out. Like, I'm literally doing this, putting people's criticisms on display right there. Boom. Like, putting it up. I'm putting it on the Summer Jam screen, right? Yeah, see, I just disagree with this shit. I do. I strongly disagree with that. Yeah, I disagree so much with this. I'm sorry. Like, you know, you want to say that I'm full of it right there? Sure. But I do not agree with that at all. No way. I don't know how someone can be so correct and miss with the argument. Again, it's just referring to this one line. Okay. Okay, sure. Again, the power level thing. I assume this is a serious comment. It's just because on global, like, you can just, every single banner that comes out, you can get a pack, and then it has box face in it. So global, like, global whales, global players who are spending and stuff like that, like me, we're spending on these banners, just have hundreds to thousands of more. Well, I don't know about thousands, but I think Toon Rami and Gresh have about 1,000 more box space than me. Right? Like, it's a lot. And power level is mostly something that's been stupid since the day it came out. Mostly determined by your link level progress, and specifically which characters are link leveled in your box. It's stupid. It's very dumb. It's very dumb. Can someone explain why? I'll tell y'all why. The reason he's different on global is because they were nervous that players weren't going to summon for him. Because he came out, and then Super Saiyan Rose was next, and Physical Goku Black was on Rose's banner. And they were nervous about that on global, so they just buffed him. That's the reason why. Bro, I can't. When I see people talking about narcissism when we're talking about fucking Dokkan, man, like, bro, Dr. Reed, you're 14. Narcissism. We're talking about Dokkan. Bro, I can't take it. I can't take it serious, man. I can't take it serious. Yes, funny thing is I agree with your second tweet 100%. That is the point. That is the point. I can't. The narcissism, I'm sorry. If any of you replied to me with narcissism, I do think you're an idiot. I'm sorry. You're allowed to think I'm an idiot. I'll think you're an idiot. Well, we're each going to think we're idiots. Narcissism from this, it's just stupid. It's stupidity. All right, we can end there. I gave people plenty of opportunities to talk. Oh my God. Yeah, this was another one I saw that I was my eyes were rolling out of my skull because we're just completely not talking about the global tickets and discounts. It's stupidity. All right, anyway. There we go. We got a lot of good discussion in here. We'll see. I'll tell you all this right now. Wham bam. I am very nervous about how the rest of these months are going to go with this sync, man. A huge thing I'm very concerned about is that Sanabata LR is going to drop on JP in like 4 weeks. It's going to be ridiculously mega hype. And then it's just, we're going to be sitting here in August, like, where is this on global? And then, you know, Amatsu's going to come on stage and say, guess what? We're synced. And it's like, okay, but where is this, you know, UI Goku? Where's this Blue Gogeta at? Where's Super Vegito, who just came out on JP? Like, I do have a lot of fear that there's going to be a lot of stupid-ass things like that, and it's going to be a summer of anger is what I'm worried about. But let me know what you guys say. I do love you all. Except for the people who called me narcissistic over Dokkan, dude. Come on, Dr. Reed. Again, you're 13 saying that, man. I'm sorry. I love y'all, though. Mwah! I'll catch y'all next time, man. All right. I do always enjoy these, man. This was a fun-ass video to record. I had a lot of fun here.